Welcome to our channel, $1 Million Made Easy. This video, I want to look at a couple. They're 62 years old. They have 670,000 saved up. Their expected expenses are between 5,000 and 5,200 a month. Their Social Security statement says if they wait till age 67, they'll get 3,200 between the two of them. They want to know if they can retire now. So let's look at one of the spreadsheets that we use on this channel to help people see these numbers. Here's the 670,000. They need 5,200. We'll first look at the 5,200 a month, and they're going to get 3,200 from Social Security. Now that's if they wait till age 67. So here's the 67 getting 3,200. If they take it at age 62 now, or their current age, they're going to get 70% of that. So they're going to get 2,240. But we went ahead and put that from the very first year, they're going to get 2,240. Now of this 5,200, if they get 2240 from Social Security, that'd be 43% of the money that they need. The rest of it, the 57%, would have to come from their nest egg. So that's going to be 2960. So they're going to be needing 35,520 coming from their nest egg initially. Now, we're going to do a 70-30 asset allocation. We're going to leave 70% in the S&P 500. We're going to put 30% over in some bucket. So when the market's going down, we have these kind of returns. You don't want to take these monies out of the S&P 500 because that's already going down. You're going to take it over the cash reserve. So if we do that and we use the numbers for the S&P 500 for the last 100 years and project out what some returns might do for you, this is where they would be in each of the different years. For example, 1925 years, this would show you what you would have going down through here. And this is kind of a summary for the whole 100 years worth of data. What you have left after 10 years, 20 years, and 30 years. And I want you to notice right here, 9% of the time you'll be out of money after 20 years, 11% after 30 years. You can see them in red going down through here. So this is the actual graph showing you 91% of the time after 20 years, you'd have money left. If we happen to have returns like the Depression type years or like the decade of the 2000s, where that was a down decade, then you'd have some issues and you might have to do some changing. But otherwise, you'd have all kinds of money. This is million, 2 million. Remember, you're starting out with 670,000. You could obviously take out more as the years went on if you had some good years initially. That's the big key. What happens those initial years? Just to show you 1928 numbers, when you have these down years initially, you're running out of money really fast, and that's why it's showing up as a red here after 20 years and 30 years and so on. But 91% of the time, you've got money left after 20 years, 89% of the time after 30 years. That's what we do running numbers for people. That's a 5.3% withdrawal rate, which is kind of high, quite a bit above the 4% rule. Let's see what happens if we do just 5,000 a month, which gets it down below the 5% rule, down to 4.94. Let's see how these numbers might change. Right now, we got a 9% failure rate, but looking on the positive side, you get a 91% success rate. Let's go ahead and run the numbers. Now you've only got a 5% failure rate after 20 years. So the graphs even look a little bit better. A couple of less years we'd run out of money around the Depression years, and you still got a couple right here around the year 2000. But all these other scenarios, you're just fine. 1928 numbers, 1929 numbers, 1930, 31. Finally, 1930. There's about 4 years, well, actually 3 years in there that you'd be running into problems after 20 years and 5 years after 30 years. The only other scenario we have is around the year 2000. Let's go down here and show you these numbers here real quick. We had numbers like 1996, no problem. Because again, these three down years that we had in the 2000 and 2002, they're still far enough down that they don't affect you. But you start getting these closer to when you first retire, they call that sequence of returns risk. That's when you have problems. 1997, still okay with the summary box. 1998, you're going to see the red because you only had 2 years. Actually, didn't see the red yet. Go to 1999. Jump the gun there. You had one good year before you got to 3 down years, and those 3 down years had a negative effect so that you ran out of money in just over 20 years. But again, 95% of the time, you do not run out of money. Why? Because we went from 5,200 a month down to 5,000 and made that much difference. So it's going from a 5.3% withdrawal rate down to a 4.94. And you only have problems in just a few years out of the last 100, just 5 years out of the last 100. 95% of the time you did just fine and have these kind of returns You can see over the million, 2 million, and so on. But that's what we do on this channel. We just love helping people out. Looks like they'd be safe. A lot of people think if they don't have $1 million, they can't retire. But it looks like if you have expected expenses around 5% or a little bit less, then you're probably going to be just fine. Again, in this case right here, 95% of the time with a 4.94% withdrawal rate. We could show you a lot more things from this spreadsheet. We could change a whole lot of things, but I just wanted to give them a quick idea where they might be. Looks like they're in good shape. Again, don't just count on these numbers necessarily in planning your retirement, but that's what we do on this channel. We set up spreadsheets, we run numbers for people to give them some idea what the future might look like. It looks like future's pretty bright for them retiring right now if they understand there is a chance, if we have returns like the year 2000, that you could have some issues. Please like the video and thanks so much for watching. Let people know about this channel.